Good morning to one and all. Today we are going to study the new chapter Nuclear Chemistry. This chapter is from Chemistry paper 7th, section B, Inorganic Chemistry. Now in this chapter the points to be covered are here: introduction regarding nuclear chemistry, then the composition of nucleus, nuclear size, classification of nuclides like isotopes, isobars, isotones, then nuclear stability, then factors affecting nuclear stability like odd and even number of protons and neutrons, then n by z ratio, that is neutron to proton ratio, then magic numbers, packing fractions and numericals based on it, then mass defect and numericals based on mass defect, then nuclear binding energy and numericals based on nuclear binding energy, and mean nuclear binding energy and numericals based on the mean nuclear binding energy, and remaining points they will be covered in the next video. So the nuclear chemistry, it is nothing but the branch of chemistry which deals with the study of nuclear changes in an atom of the element. So nuclear chemistry is defined as the branch of chemistry which deals with the study of nuclear changes that occurs in an atom of element. Our next point is composition of nucleus. We know that atom is the smallest particle of an element and it consists of two parts. The central part, it is known as nucleus, and the outer part which is known as the orbit, where the electrons are revolving around the nucleus. So atom is divided into two parts: the central part which contains protons and neutrons, so that are the nucleons, and it is known as nucleus, whereas the outer part, it is known as the orbit, where the electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Now this nucleus consists of nucleons like protons and neutrons. The atomic number of the atom of an element is nothing but the number of protons present in the nucleus, or it is also equal to the number of electrons revolving around the nucleus. So in an atom, the number of protons is always equal to number of electrons. Now the next point is here atomic number, which is represented by the symbol Z, and it is defined as the number of electrons in an atom, or it is also defined as the number of protons in the nucleus of an atom. So the number of electrons revolving around the nucleus of an atom is known as atomic number, or the number of protons present in the nucleus of an atom is also known as the atomic number of that element. Now next point is mass number, which is represented by letter capital A, and it is defined as the sum of the number of protons and neutrons in an atom. And in the nuclear chemistry, the atom is represented is in this manner, where capital A indicates the mass number, this capital A that indicates the mass number, this C, letter C, that indicates the element, and letter Z indicates the atomic number. So this is the representation of an atom in nuclear chemistry. Now there are some common notations involved in nuclear chemistry, and they are like this here. For the elements here, hydrogen, when its atomic number is 1 and mass number is 1, then its notation is here P, or that is nothing but the proton. For when atomic number is 1 and mass number is 2, then it is denoted by the letter capital D, and it is known as deuterium. Similarly, when the atomic number is 1 and mass number is 3, then that is denoted by the letter capital T, and it is known as the tritium. Similarly, for alpha particles, when atomic number is 2 and mass number is 4, it is nothing but for the element helium, and it is represented by the symbol alpha. It is alpha particle. So in this way we can represent the notations, or you can show the common notations involved in nuclear chemistry. Now the important term is here nuclear size, and it is nothing but the radius of the nucleus, and it is calculated using this formula. The small r that indicates the radius of nucleus, and it is equal to r0 a raised to 1 by 3, where this r is radius of nucleus, capital A is the mass number, and r0 is constant, and its value is 1.5 into 10 raised to minus 15 meter. Now the next point is classification of nuclides. Now there are three types of nuclides. First is the isotopes, second isobars, and third is the isotones. Now let us see one by one. So first is isotopes. So the isotopes are nothing but the elements having same atomic number, or atomic number same, but mass number is different, and such elements are called as isotopes of each other. And the elements having same atomic number and different mass number are called isotopes. For example, see here, these are the three elements: hydrogen, here is also hydrogen, here is also hydrogen, but their atomic numbers are same and mass numbers are different. So here is H, atomic number 1 and mass number 1, it is known as the hydrogen. Here the symbol is here capital D is used, as here atomic number is 1 and mass number is 2, so it is the isotope of hydrogen, and it is known as deuterium. It is represented by letter capital D. And here the atomic number is 1 and mass number is 3, and it is known as tritium. It is also the isotope of hydrogen. So these are the three: hydrogen, deuterium, and tritium. These are the isotopes of hydrogen. Now see here, in case of hydrogen, there is one proton in its nucleus and one electron is revolving around this nucleus. In case of deuterium, as its mass number is 2, means there is one proton and one neutron in the nucleus. In case of tritium, there is one proton and two neutrons, as its mass number is 3. So this is the representation of the isotopes of the hydrogen: hydrogen, deuterium, and tritium. These are the three isotopes of hydrogen. Our next point is isobars, and the isobars are defined as the elements having mass number same and atomic number different. So such elements are called isobars of each other. So same thing is here mass number, and different thing is here atomic number. Let us see some examples. Now here argon, potassium, and calcium, these are the three isobars of each other. Now as see here, their atomic numbers are here 18, 19, and 20 respectively, whereas their mass numbers are same, that is 40. So such elements are called isobars of each other. Now they can be represented like this. In case of argon, there are 18 protons and 22 neutrons in its nucleus. Whereas in case of potassium, there are 19 protons and 21 neutrons in the nucleus of potassium. And in case of calcium, there are 20 protons and 20 neutrons. It means their mass number is same. So these three, argon, potassium and calcium, they are the isobars of each other. Now third definition is here, isotones. So isotones are the elements having same number of neutrons. They are called isotones. So here common thing is here neutrons. Means though they have different atomic numbers, though they have different mass numbers, but there are similar or same number of neutrons in the nucleus of that element. Now for example, consider here carbon atomic number 6 and mass number 14, nitrogen atomic number 7 and mass number 15, and oxygen atomic number 8 and mass number 16. So in case of carbon, there are this mass number 14 minus 6 atomic number, so that is equal to 8 neutrons. Mass number is nothing but the addition of the number of protons and number of neutrons. So by subtracting number of protons from mass number, we have this 8 neutrons. In case of nitrogen, is 15 minus 7, mass number 15 and atomic number 7. So difference between these two is 8, and that indicates the number of neutrons present in the nucleus of nitrogen. And in case of oxygen, the number of neutrons are also 8, that is 16 minus 8, that is equal to 8 neutrons. Means there are 8 neutrons in the nucleus of carbon, nitrogen and oxygen. So such elements are called isotones of each other. So the elements having same number of neutrons are called isotones. Now next point is nuclear stability. So the stability of nucleus of an atom is called nuclear stability, and there are various factors that affects the nuclear stability. So see here the factors affecting stability of nucleus. So there are 6 factors in our syllabus. First one is the odd and even number of protons and neutrons, that affects the stability of nucleus. Then neutron to proton ratio, that also affects the stability of nucleus. Then magic number, which affects the stability of nucleus. Packing fraction, mass defect and binding energy. So these are the important points or the factors that affect the stability of nucleus. Now let's see one by one. So first point is here the odd and even number of protons and neutrons. So how this odd and even number of protons and neutrons affect the stability of nucleus? Now we know that generally the spin factors of nucleons means the protons and neutrons, depend on their odd and even number, and therefore their number play an important role in the stability of nucleus. Now let's see when even number of protons and neutrons are present. So here when the nuclei having even number of protons and even number of neutrons, then such nuclei are found to be more stable, and it is because of the fact that there is the formation of proton and neutron pairing, and due to this proton and neutron pairing, such nuclei are more stable. For example, see here the oxygen atomic number 8 and mass number 16, magnesium atomic number 12 and mass number 24, calcium atomic number 20 and mass number 24. So in case of oxygen, there are 8 protons and 8 neutrons. So all are in paired form. In case of magnesium, there are 12 protons and 12 neutrons. So all protons and neutrons are paired with each other. In case of calcium, there are 20 protons which are in paired form, whereas 20 neutrons they are also in the paired form. That's why they are oxygen, magnesium and calcium. They are more stable, or the nuclei of these elements are more stable. Now second point is odd number of protons and even number of neutrons, and vice versa. So we know that when the protons and neutrons are in paired form, then they are more stable, or such nuclei are more stable. But here are the odd number of protons, means all protons are not in paired form, and also odd number of neutrons means they are also not in paired form. Therefore such nuclei are found to be less stable. So the nuclei having odd number of protons and even number of neutrons, and vice versa, it means even number of protons and odd number of neutrons are less stable. For example, here oxygen and calcium. In oxygen there are 8 protons and 9 neutrons, as the 17 minus 8 means 9 neutrons. So here the all neutrons are not in paired form, so this nucleus is less stable. In case of calcium there are 20 protons, means they are all in paired form, but there are 21 neutrons, means difference is 41 minus 20 means 21 neutrons. Therefore all neutrons are not in paired form, so this nucleus it is less stable. Now third case is odd number of protons and neutrons, means when both protons and neutrons are in odd, so such nuclei are also less stable, as there is no paired neutrons or paired protons. So see here, for example, hydrogen atomic number 1 and mass number 2, means there is one proton and one neutron, means they are not in paired form, so this nucleus is less stable. This is the lithium atomic number 3 and mass number 6, means there are 3 protons and 3 neutrons, so it is also less stable. This is the boron atomic number 5 and mass number 10, means there are 5 protons and 5 neutrons. That's why this boron is less stable, means all protons and neutrons are not in paired form. In case of nitrogen, here atomic number 7 and mass number 14, so there are 7 protons and 7 neutrons. So this nitrogen nucleus, it is also less stable, because all protons are not in paired form, as well as all neutrons are not in paired form. Now here next number is magic numbers. So there are some nuclei having protons, or the number of protons is equal to 2, 8, 20, 50, 82 and 126, or the nuclei containing 2 protons, 8 protons, 20 protons, 50 protons, 82 protons and 122 protons, or 2 neutrons, 8 neutrons, 20 neutrons, 50 neutrons, 82 neutrons and 126 neutrons. They are found to be very stable, and therefore these numbers are known as magic numbers. So the magic numbers are nothing but the nuclei which contains 2, 8, 20, 50, 80 and 126 protons or equal neutrons. So they are called magic numbers, as they are very stable. Now next point is here the neutron to proton ratio. So if the graph is plotted between neutron and proton, then it shows a ratio in the range of 1 to 1.6, and this region 1 to 1.6, it is called zone of stability. Let's see the graph. So here is the graph between neutron and proton, and it shows a region which is shown by this line portion or shaded portion, and it is known as the zone of stability. and the nuclei which lies in this zone of stability, they are found to be more stable or stable. So the elements whose n by z ratio, means neutron to proton ratio, lies in the range of 1 to 1.6 are stable, and if their value is less than or greater than this zone of stability, that nuclei or that elements are found to be unstable or less stable. So if the n by z ratio or the value of n by z ratio is greater than 1.6, then such nuclei are unstable or they are the radioactive, and they undergoes disintegration, means they emit the alpha, beta or gamma radiations to attain the stability. If n by z ratio, if the n by z ratio is less than 1 or more than 1.6, they are found to be unstable, and such nuclei try to enter into zone of stability. Zone of stability, it means the range 1 to 1.6. The elements having n by z ratio greater than zone of stability has tendency to convert neutron to proton. So the elements which have n by z ratio greater than zone of stability, they attain stability by converting neutron to proton. So this is the equation that indicates the conversion of neutron to proton. Here neutron, and it is converted into proton by the emission of this electron, or we can say that that is the alpha particle. Now here, if the elements have n by z ratio less than zone of stability, then they have tendency to convert proton to neutron, and it is shown by this equation P, then n0 neutron, and there is emission of one positron. So the elements having n by z ratio greater than zone of stability have tendency to convert neutron to proton, and the elements having n by z ratio less than zone of stability have tendency to convert proton to neutron in order to attain the stability. Now third point is packing fraction. It is denoted by this PF, and it is nothing but the measure of the loss or gain of total mass in a group of nucleons when they are brought together to form an atomic nucleus. So packing fraction is a measure of the loss or gain of total mass in a group of nucleons when they are brought together to form an atomic nucleus, and it can be calculated using the formula like this: packing fraction is equal to isotopic mass minus mass number upon mass number into 10 raised to 4. So this is the formula used to calculate the packing fraction. Now let us see some numericals based on this formula, packing fraction. So this is the problem or numerical, that is calculate the packing fraction of argon, atomic number 18 and mass number 40. Its isotopic mass is given, that is 39.9638 atomic mass unit. So we have to solve this. What is given? Mass number of argon is 40 and isotopic mass of argon is 39.9638 atomic mass unit. So we know this is the formula to calculate the packing fraction. It is the packing fraction is equal to isotopic mass minus mass number upon mass number into 10 raised to 4, or it is equals to the value of isotopic mass is 39.9638 minus this 40.0 upon the mass number, that is 40 into 10 raised to 4. So by simplifying this, we have this value minus 0.0362, that is the difference between these two, into 10 raised to 4 means 10,000 upon 40 as it is, and it will be equals to minus 9.05. So this is the packing fraction. So in this way we can calculate the packing fraction of any element when the isotopic mass of that element is provided. Now the next point is mass defect, which is denoted by the symbol delta M, and it is defined as the difference between calculated mass and observed mass, or calculated mass and observed isotopic mass of nucleus. It is called mass defect. So this mass defect plays an important role to explain the stability of nucleus. It is denoted by the symbol delta M, and it can be calculated using the formula delta M is equal to calculated mass minus observed isotopic mass. Here the mass of proton and mass of neutrons are given. Mass of proton is 1.0078 atomic mass unit, and mass of neutron is 1.0086 atomic mass unit. Now let's solve the numerical based on this formula. So here the problem is we have to calculate the mass defect of carbon having atomic number 6 and mass number 12. Its isotopic mass is given, that is 12.0038 atomic mass unit. So we know here in this given this C6H12, that is atomic number 6 of carbon and mass number 12, contain 6 protons and 6 neutrons. So we know the mass of each proton is 1.0078. So as there are 6 protons, so 6 into 1.0078, that gives the mass of protons, and it is equal to 6.0468 atomic mass unit. Now the mass of neutron, as there are 6 neutrons in the nucleus of this carbon, so there 6 into 1.0086, it is equal to 6.0516 atomic mass unit. So the calculated mass is equal to the addition of these two values, that is 6.0468 plus 6.0516, it is equal to 12.0984 atomic mass unit. Now we have to write down the formula to calculate the mass defect, that is mass defect is equal to calculated mass minus observed isotopic mass. So calculated mass is 12.0984 and observed isotopic mass is 12.0038. So difference between these two is equals to 0.0946 atomic mass unit. So it is the mass defect of this element, that is carbon having atomic number 6 and mass number 12. Now our next point is nuclear binding energy. Now it is defined as the amount of energy required to bind nucleons. Nucleons means protons and neutrons present in the nucleus. So the amount of energy required to bind nucleons together in a nucleus is called nuclear binding energy. It is denoted by the symbol E or delta E. So energy and mass, they are related by the equation delta E is equal to mc square. So it is the Einstein's equation, where delta E is the energy liberated, and this capital M that indicates the mass, and c indicates the velocity of light. So this binding energy or nuclear binding energy is expressed in milli electron volt, and the conversion factor is here 931 is the conversion factor for atomic mass unit to milli electron volt. Therefore, binding energy can be calculated using the formula E is equal to delta M into 931. So this is the formula which is used to calculate the binding energy or the nuclear binding energy. Now let us see the problems based on this formula. So here is one problem given, that is calculate the binding energy of the nucleus of oxygen, atomic number 8 and mass number 16, oxygen atom, which has mass 15.994910 atomic mass unit. Here the mass of proton is given, which is 1.007277 atomic mass unit, and the mass of neutron is also given, it is 1.008665 atomic mass unit. Now let's solve this problem. So here in the given element oxygen contain 8 proton and 8 neutrons. So the mass of 8 protons, that is equal to 8 into 1.007277, it is equals to 8.058216 atomic mass unit. Mass of 8 neutrons, that is equal to 8 into 1.008665, it is the value of the mass of one neutron. So there are 8 neutrons, so 8 into 1.008665, and it is equal to 8.06932 atomic mass unit. So what will be calculated mass of the nucleons? So it will be equal to the addition of these two values, and it is equals to 16.127536 atomic mass unit. So we know the value of isotopic mass, that is 15.994910, and we have the calculated mass of the nucleons, that is 16.127536. So we can calculate the mass defect using this formula, that is the mass defect is equal to calculated mass minus observed mass. So it is equals to 16.127536 is calculated mass minus observed isotopic mass is 15.994910, and it is equals to 0.132626 atomic mass unit. So this is the mass defect. Now we have to calculate binding energy, and it can be calculated using this formula. E, or binding energy, is equal to mass defect into 931. So the value of mass defect is 0.132626 into 931, and that is equal to 123.474866 milli-electron volt. So this is the binding energy of the given nucleon. Now the last point is here, mean nuclear binding energy, and it is nothing but the ratio of nuclear binding energy and mass number. It is called mean nuclear binding energy. So it is very easy to calculate the mean nuclear binding energy. It is simply the ratio of nuclear binding energy and mass number. So it can be calculated by using the formula, this binding energy upon nuclear or binding energy upon mass number. So let's see the problem based on this. So we have to here calculate the mean binding energy. Already we have calculated binding energy of this oxygen having atomic number 8 and 16. Only we have to divide to that binding energy by the mass number, so that we get mean nuclear binding energy. So this is the data, that is mass of proton is 1.007277 atomic mass unit, mass of neutron is equal to 1.008665 atomic mass unit. Now let's solve this problem. So here oxygen atomic number 8 and mass number 16 contain 8 protons and 8 neutrons. So mass of proton is here 1.007277. As there are 8 protons, so mass of 8 protons is equal to 8 into 1.007277, and it is equal to 8.058216 atomic mass unit. Similarly, mass of neutrons, we have to calculate using this formula. The mass of one neutron is 1.008665. As there are 8 neutrons, so 8 into this value, that gives 8.06932 atomic mass unit. So the calculated mass of nucleons, that is nothing but the addition of these two values, that is 8.058216 plus 8.06932, and it is equals to 16.127536 atomic mass unit. So this is the calculated mass, and the value of isotopic mass, that is already given 15.994910. So we can calculate the mass defect using this formula. Mass defect is equal to calculated mass minus observed isotopic mass. So we have calculated the calculated mass of the oxygen having atomic number 8 and mass number 16 is 16.127536, and its isotopic mass is 15.994910. So the difference is here 0.132626 atomic mass unit. Also, we have calculated the binding energy using this formula delta M, that is mass defect into 931. So we have the mass defect value, this one, so it is 0.132626 into 931, and it is equal to 123.474866 milli electron volt. Up to this we have already calculated. Now here finally we have to calculate the mean nuclear binding energy, and it is the ratio of binding energy and mass number. So we have to divide to this value by the mass number, so that it gives the mean nuclear binding energy, and it is equal to this value is nothing but the for the binding energy upon mass number of oxygen is 16. So this ratio, that gives the mean nuclear binding energy or mean binding energy, and its value is here 7.7171 milli electron volt. Therefore the mean binding energy or mean nuclear binding energy of oxygen having atomic number 8 and mass number 16 is equal to 7.7171 milli electron volt. So in this way we have completed the chapter nuclear chemistry. Now let's take the review. Today we have studied the introduction regarding nuclear chemistry. Then we have studied the composition of nucleus and nucleosides. We have also studied the classification of nuclides like isotopes, isobars, isotones, and we have finally studied the nuclear stability and factors affecting nuclear stability like odd and even number of protons and neutrons, then neutron to proton ratio, magic numbers, packing fractions. We have solved problem based on this formula, packing fraction, mass defect, that is denoted by symbol delta M, and we have already solved one example based on this formula. We have studied nuclear binding energy. We also studied the numericals based on this formula of nuclear binding energy, and finally we have studied mean nuclear binding energy, and we have also solved a problem based on this formula of mean nuclear binding energy. In this way we have completed the half unit of this nuclear chemistry. Thank you for watching the complete video. Stay home and stay safe. Thank you once again.